ఓం శ్రుతిస్మృతిపురాణానామాలయం కరుణాలయం నమామి భగవత్పాదశంకరం లోకశంకరం భక్త్యా త్వనన్యయా శక్యః అహమేవం విధోర్జున జ్ఞాతుం ద్రష్టుం చ తత్వేన ప్రవేష్టుం చ పరంతపా. So bhakti, devotion, or you can as well say love of God, or even better, just love. Love is God, you know. Therefore, you need not be specific as love of God. Nothing wrong, but you should note that love is God. You see, what is love? Love everybody knows, but it is not easy to describe it. Some of the basic things you cannot describe them. Like in physics, even today they are struggling to describe or define what is mass, what is energy, what is light. Even now they are still struggling to understand what it is. Similarly, love. Peace. How can you describe peace? You will be disturbing peace by trying to describe the peace. So similarly love. But you can arrive at love in a negative way. That is what I was saying. Positively you cannot arrive at it, but negatively you can arrive at it. Love is not memory. Memory is not love. Like my son, my daughter, my diamond ring, my diamond necklace. All of that is memory. Memory is time, and therefore you are caught in the net of time. That is not love. Then a sensorial experience means the sense organ comes into contact with a sense object, giving birth to or giving rise to an experience. We can call it sensorial experience. It could be very pleasant. Let us call the pleasant experience only. Nobody calls the painful experience as love. The pleasant experience, very pleasing experience. So, is that love? No, that is not love. So, because experience is born and it is short-lived and it will vanish. So, that is not love. Love is the core of the person. It is the state of being. It is the state of being. When the mind becomes quiet, and then in that inner silence, the silence is not void. The silence is the pure being. That is, if you want to call it turiya, no harm, you can call it. So it is the state of being. Or you can simply say even being. And that is love. The love to being is like fragrance to the flower. That is love. And so how to discover that love? Just by being the being, you discover the love. So enter into that pure being with the understanding that being is love, then you will soon discover the being is love. So, and once you discover that love, you love all. You love everything. It is like the flower. It is fragrant within, and therefore it spreads the fragrance all around without choosing the direction or the people or whatever. It just spreads the fragrance. Similarly, you love all, including your enemies, if there are enemies, or people who bother you or trouble you, including them, you love all. And therefore, that is how bhakti. And we have seen the Ananya Bhakti, and then we were looking at the devotion to Ishvara. So what is Ishvara now? Aham evam vidhaha Vishwarupa prakaraha. Hey Arjuna. So now you have to know Ishvara, Jnatum. So how to know Ishvara? You see, Shastrataha. Let us say that. Jnatum Shastrataha. So you have to know Ishvara with the help of the Shastra. From Shastra. Shastrataha means from Shastra. But then the days are like that everything is called Shastra. You have funniest of the Shastras. Aksha Shastram is there. Aksha is a dice. There is a Shastra for it. Then a horse racing is there, there is a Shastra for that. And then taming the elephant, Hasti, there is a Shastra for that. So now what is not Shastra? Therefore, Shastra means Upanishad and Gita. You have to take it like that. Adhyatma Shastram. That is the Shastra we are talking about. Adhyatma. So that is what Gita is. And so when Shankara talks of Shastra, he means the Adhyatma Shastram. Therefore, instead of trying to figuring out what is bhakti all by yourself, or instead of going by some belief which is put around by somebody, that happens all the time. So somebody believes something, a person believes something, and now he cannot keep quiet. He has to collect a few more people and convert them into his belief. Otherwise he will be very insecure. The believers are like that. The believers will be secure only if they are in the company of a few more believers, if not a lot more believers. That's why believers, they are always trying to convert people to their belief. That is how believers are. Because they see security in numbers. Because belief is not, it cannot make you secure. But if it gives a false sense of security also in a way. But then if you have numbers, many people believe it. Therefore, you feel great about it. That gives you a sense of satisfaction and security. So that kind of picking up a belief here and a belief there, that is not the discovery of Ishvara. That has nothing to do with Ishvara. Therefore, you have to rely upon the Shastra only. Then it is not just knowing from the Shastra. You see, knowing means the process of ideation is there. So you study the Shastra and form all right ideas. People sometimes may have all the right ideas, but they do everything wrong also. So the ideas are not going to help much. So that's why Shankara says, Na kevalam jnatum shastrataha drashtuncha. So it is not enough that you know from the Shastra. Means you have formed a nice idea, you have got all the right concepts in your mind. That is not enough. You see, an iota of experience is superior to a ton of precept. It is said like that. And then instead of collecting a variety of ideas, a multitude of ideas, you just pick up one idea, one thought, and live it. It is called a living thought. That is the statement. What I should have said is, a living thought is superior to a ton of precept. That is what I wanted to say. Now I got to it. A living thought. So you take a thought and you live it. Like the thought of not hurting anything living. That is a thought. Ahimsa, we call it. We do not want to hurt anything that is living. So it is not just some moral of live and let live. It is a lot more than that. You don't want to hurt anything that is living. That kind of a sensitivity. That is a thought. It is a thought. You find it in the books and in the Shastra, you find it. And you live it. You live it. Willfully, you do not hurt anything living. And you live it. And if you live it, you are a saint already. One thought is enough. If you live one thought, you are a saint. You have 100 concepts, you are a bag of bones, nothing more than that. Therefore, it is not enough to know from the Shastra, drashtuncha, sakshat kartum tatvena, tatvataha. One and the same. So, tatvena, tatvataha. See, shastrataha we have said, therefore tatvena. So make it tatvataha. So it nicely gels with the word shastrataha. Shastrataha jnatam tatvataha sakshatkritam brahma. That way. Okay? Now sakshatkara, you can translate it, you have to translate it into the English, because we are teaching in English. I cannot say I won't translate. No, I cannot say that. I have to translate. Otherwise, I should stop teaching in English and start teaching in Telugu. Or you need not even translate that also. You just teach in Sanskrit itself. Sanskrit medium you can learn. You can teach also. You do that. Then you need not translate anything. So, sakshat kartum means, you see, you look at yourself, you have a few ways of knowing. Like you know the part through eyesight. That is called pratyaksha. Aksha is indriyam. Aksha is indriyam. So pratyaksham, aksham prati pratyaksham. So when it is not before your eyesight, it is somewhere else, away from your sight, but you imagine it, it is called paroksham. Aksham para, okay. So pratyaksham, it is aksham prati. Directly, it is perceived directly with the eyesight. That is pratyaksha. But then between you and the part, you are the one who knows the part, not the eyes. Eyes do not know the part. Eyes help you know the part. They don't know the part. Eyes help you know the part. You know the part. Therefore, between you, the knower, and the part, the known, eyes are there, eyes intervene. Sometimes eyes can cheat you because they can help you know the part, and even they can help, but then they can cheat you also. Like the eyes make you see a serpent. That is, the eyes are cheating you now. Instead of showing you the rope, they are showing you the serpent. Therefore, between you, the knower, and the known, there is the intermediacy or mediacy of the pratyaksha. Pratyaksha is intervening. You can say it is helping to know true, it is helping to know true. But then it is intervening and it can mess up also. It does that all the time. That's why you have two things, prama, the right knowledge, and brahmaha, the delusion. Both you have. Both are from pratyaksha only. Then with the mind you can know too. You can know with the mind. Like parvato vanhiman dhumat. There is a fire inside the belly of the mountain. How do you know? I figure it out, I know. I look at the smoke and then conclude. That is the mind. So once again, the known is the fire. You are the knower. Between you and the known, there is the intermediacy of the mind. No sakshatkara. That is not called sakshatkara. Means what? Sakshat means nothing in between. That is sakshat. Now suppose devotion, and I am, and the devotion, and I know what is the devotion. That is sakshatkara. Because between you, the one who knows, and the devotion, the thing that you realized, between you and the devotion, or between you and the love, there is nothing in between. You love not because you see. You love not because you think. You love because you love. That is called sakshatkara. Got the point? Therefore, the subtlety of it is that even the perception and the inference are considered obstacles. They are intermediacy. They are intermediate. And thereby, when you say this is part, that is not direct knowledge, it is indirect knowledge. Like Ramana Maharshi used to say, it is indirect. Because through the perception, Parvato Vanhiman, through the inference, through the mind, it is not direct. Whereas I am. So I am because I see? No. I am because I think? No. I am because I am. That is the sakshatkara. Therefore, that love, the devotion to God, you have to discover it. You have to realize it. Sakshatkara, realize. Sometimes the word sakshatkara is translated by Mahatmas as direct perception. When I say this is part, that is perception. But when I say I love, that is a direct perception. Therefore, that is the sakshatkara. And here we are not talking of sakshatkara of a form, like Shri Krishna's form. You go to Vrindavan, have the sakshatkara of Shri Krishna, somebody says. Or you close the eyes and chant the nama or mantra for 3 months or 6 months, you will have the sakshatkara of Shri Krishna. Now, that is not sakshatkara. That's what we are talking about. You may use the word there, but here we are qualifying the sakshatkara with the word tatvataha, not rupataha. Suppose Shri Krishna comes and stands before you, you see him, that is perception, that is not sakshatkara, unless you want to call the perception itself sakshatkara. So that is perception, and that perception of a form, rupa. Suppose you understand Shri Krishna is very compassionate. People, devotees say that God is very compassionate. You see, the devotees could be very cunning also sometimes. God is very compassionate to us, but He is very punishing to our enemies. There are enemies also. Dvisho jehi, dvisham dvishau dvishaha, dvitiya bahochanam. So not one enemy, many of them. And then kill them, jehi, kill them. Hana dhatu, lot madhyama purushaya kavachanam, jehi. So kill them, kill the enemies. The devotees are very cunning, I tell you. So, dhanam dehi, yasho dehi, give all these things to us, but when it comes rupam dehi, he wants rupam also. Why do you want rupam? Rupam will disintegrate, you had rupam already. What happened to that rupa? So something, I don't know what is meant there. You have to go to it and see the context, and if any Tikakara has thrown some light on it, you have to see. But so as it looks, it doesn't look very inspiring. Rupam dehi. But dvisho jehi, that is the cunning part of it. So therefore, so you know the Godhead, the God or Goddess, whatever you call, you know it through guna, gunataha, the guna, qualities, the qualities of God. Always these are the qualities of God. God is very compassionate, the cunning devotee. He wants urgently some compassion. It is like the person who comes into the street to collect some money. He says, "Hey Maharaj, bahut badhiya Maharaj hai." He says to me. And I know what is the purpose of that saying. And I oblige him also. Chalo, he has said a nice thing about me. Why should it go waste for him? Otherwise he will curse me under his breath while going away. Therefore I will give something to him and then send him away. So he blesses me and goes away. Therefore this is the devotee. And so in the thinking of devotee, God is always compassionate, because the devotee needs desperately some compassion. He is a seeking devotee, Therefore, what is wrong with it? Nothing wrong with it. But then everything could be wrong with it also, when you are talking of self-realization. Anyway, therefore, we are not talking of sakshatkara rupataha or gunataha. We are talking of sakshatkara as a tatvataha. That is a big thing, Once we finish this tatvataha thing, the verse will be over. So you see, yesterday I was talking about pratika upasana. Upasana or bhakti, interchangeable, take it like that. Upasana is more technical word. Bhakti is more mellowed description, mellowed word, you can say that. A soft way of putting it. Whereas upasana is a bit technical. So, the pratikopasana means you worship an idol and learn to see the glory like a child learns to write on a slate, and then the child grows to a stage where the child can write anywhere. Similarly, you learn to worship God in a pratika, in an idol or an image. That is how we started in the childhood. But soon, the pratika has to grow to the level of the entire universe. The entire universe becomes a pratika. That is the Saguna Brahma Upasana. Okay? In that, there is always a sense of duality left. There is a sense of duality. A little sense of duality is always there. But then there is another upasana which is called Aham Grahopasana. You must have heard that Aham Grahopasana. In this Aham Grahopasana, there is no duality anymore. That's why Tatvataha. In this upasana or in this bhakti, there remains only the divinity. Or you can say only the divine vision remains and nothing but the divine vision. Means I, the devotee, also merges. So in this kind of upasana, you should concentrate on the fact that this entire world is manifest Brahman with an undisturbed mind. And in the process, this world is created out of Brahman, it is sustained by the Brahman, and it resolves into the Brahman. And then when it is created, you are included in that creation. When it is sustained, you are included in that creation, in that sustenance. And when it resolves, you are included in that resolution. You are not kept separate. And so this is how the whole universe, including myself, submerges in the Brahman. And therefore it is Brahman within. In the pratika, it is Brahman without. Here it is ahangraha, it includes aham also. Therefore it is Brahman within and Brahman without. You visualize like that. That is how you contemplate. That is bhakti. You contemplate that way. So you say it in so many words and take the spirit from the words, get the enthusiasm or the direction from the words. So initially, words could be there. And with the help of those words, and sometimes it is not just a word, it could be an expression. So take the cue from the expression, get inspired by the expression, and then focus the mind or allow the mind to submerge in that Brahman which pervades within and without. You have to do that with a very quiet mind. A mind which is very active, which is moving from one thing to the other, or a mind which is seeking this or that, or a mind which is apprehensive, means fear, a mind which is afraid of losing this or that, etc. That kind of a mind is not fit for this kind of ahangrahopasana. So you need to have a very cool mind. So, but the point is whether it is pratikopasana, as I have told yesterday, or the ahangrahopasana that we are talking about now, both have one thing common. The common aim of any of this kind of upasana is to demolish the diversity of names and forms. You should keep that in mind. That is the purpose. Even for pratikopasana, there are no names and forms. You see, or you contemplate upon the divine bliss, the real and blissful aspects of the divinity in Prithvi, etc. There also, when you say Prithvi, it is not a form. It is like an idol or any such thing. There also, the names and forms, which are millions of them, They are all reduced to just 5 elements. And you may add sun and moon if you wish. Still there are names and forms, but not as gross or as coarse as the idols and images, etc. But finally, even there, you focus on the divine bliss, and then the name and form will resolve. Names and forms get resolved. Either you can say they are demolished, or you can say they are merged. Depends, it's only a usage of the word. They are merged. It sounds a bit mellowed. Whereas they are demolished, you can say that. That is more the Shastra, the unreal nature of that. When you remember the unreal nature of the names and forms, you don't hesitate to say demolish. So all these names and forms, they merge into one Brahman. And then, so the Upasana is the way to strengthen this divine vision. So when the divine vision is strengthened, you realize or you discover Brahman in the worldly objects, and also you discover Brahman in yourself. And when you discover Brahman in the worldly objects, this attitude of looking at the worldly objects as a means of bhoga is out. Now, the worldly objects are not looked upon as the means of enjoyment. Like, you see, I was walking with a friend of mine, and there was a wide open, vast space, plain ground, up to the end of the horizon. As far as the eyes can see, it is an open, plain, flat ground. I was wonderstruck at the beauty of this openness. It is so open, it is the boundless reality before you. Anything boundless takes you into the embrace of Ishvara, because Ishvara is boundless. So that is what I was wondering. Then my friend said, if only we get a piece of it, we can put a colony here and make millions. Really, he was a friend of mine, and he was in the real estate, that too in Bombay. In Bombay you don't get land at all. Therefore, for him it was so enticing, so much open land. If just a few acres of it, if I can get hold in the right place, not in this remote place, in the right place, if only I can get a small piece of the open land, how I could have made millions. This is how the Namarupa works. So that's why. So he looks at Prithvi as a means of sense gratification. He can make more money out of this Prithvi. This is the real estate mind. And then water. And then anything that you look at, you look at it in terms of its utilization for my own sense gratification. That is how we look at it. This is the samsari. For a samsari, he is looking around and with a very selfish motive. That is how a samsari is. And he goes to the temple with the same motive. He looks at God with the same motive. Oh God, arrange this for me, arrange that for me. And God is like a corrupt police officer. So, therefore, because he is powerful, and he can be easily corrupted also. So this is the attitude with which we approach God. Now, that is not what we are talking about. So that is a samsari. On the other hand, an ahangrahopasaka, or a devotee who sees God in all, he looks at the same thing which a worldly person looks at. The worldly person looks at that thing, and the samsari, the jnani looks at that thing. Like you are looking at a plant with a rose. A Mahatma looks at it. He is wonderstruck by the glory of Ishvara as it reflects through that context. The plant, the rose, it's a living thing. It is life in all its glory. It's a living thing. Even the leaves are so tender. What to speak of the petals of the rose? They are so tender. They are alive. They are living things. In fact, if you just pick up a small piece of that petal of a rose, take it to the laboratory, you can make an entire rose plant out of it. If you put it in some agar-agar gel and all that, and then you can bring out an entire rose plant out of it. It is a living thing, it is. It is just alive. That is the glory of Ishvara in that. And so he is satisfied, he is happy that he could see the glory of Ishvara in that plant with a rose. But the worldly person, he plucks the rose and puts in his pocket up to the coat button. That is how a worldly person is. Or the so-called devotee, the dualistic devotee, he plucks the plant so that he can offer it to an image, to a graven image, so that his desire will be fulfilled. Is there a difference between the two approaches? Maybe yes, maybe no. So this is the difference. So you see, look at the world as the manifest Brahman, within and without. Only divine vision is there. There is no visionary left. Only the vision is there. And you are not looking at things different from each other. And some of them could be put to use, good use by you. That is not how you are looking at it. This is the way of knowing Shastrataha and Sakshat Kartum Tatvataha. This is the way. And in the process, you merge into that divinity, Praveshtuncha. So the self, the small self, which started the journey as a devotee, as an ahangrahopasaka, it merges into the divinity. That is how you merge. As you cultivate the divine vision, you merge into the divine vision, and only divine vision remains. It is like as you cultivate that love which is divine, there is no the one who loves apart from the feeling of love. Only the feeling of love is there, not the one who loves. So, in a different context, in a worldly context, the one who loves, he presents his love, he glorifies his love, but however glorified the love may be, it still belongs to him, and therefore it is his love. It is not just love. Therefore, that is not the kind of love that we are talking about. That can be called cupidity. That is how they call it. The person is very much there, and maybe he is holding a diamond ring in his hand also. Maybe he wants to propose and all that. He is standing there. He is not merged in anything. He is just standing there. So, not that way. Suppose you are standing there before God, then that is not the bhakti that we are talking about. Praveshtuncha. You do not stand apart. Suppose you stand apart. You see, they are trying to take a photograph, a group photograph. Now you stand there only, pushing a little forward. Why? Because you want to be photographed, right? Suppose you don't want to be photographed, you are not interested, then what you will do? Quietly, without giving a hint to anybody, you melt away. The photograph is taken, you are not found in that. That is the devotee. Similarly, in the divine vision, Praveshtuncha, you just enter into the divine vision, and you are not there apart. You see, you, the person, it is put in place. It is not intrinsic. It is not that an element called the person, you, is always there. It is not like that. For example, you are sleeping, you are not there. You, the person, is not there. You are truly happy, you, the person, is not there. You examine your experience of happiness. When you are truly happy, you are not there. And when you come back, the happiness ends. Therefore, you, the person, is not a diamond-like entity, a solid, truthful entity. It is not. it is just put in place by a movement of the mind. The mind moves in the form of a desire. The person is put in place. The desire belongs. Desirelessness doesn't belong. Desirelessness is a way of merging in the divine vision. But the desire belongs. There also it belongs to the small self. Therefore, even as the desire springs up, it puts in place the small person, the small self. And suppose you remain desireless, you are not a person anymore. There is a body, there is a mind, but there is no person. That is what is called the function is there, but there is no person. It is the desire which puts the person in place, and it is the fear which puts the person in place. That's why it is indeed well said that desirelessness and fearlessness is godliness. There is no desire. What is there to desire? Even after thinking for 10 minutes, I don't find something to desire. You should be like that. Then fear. Fear what? Fear what? No, they will say things against you. Doesn't matter. It is good always. Because they say too many good things about you, it becomes a bit embarrassing, and there may be some small hole is being prepared for you to fall into it. So, people make a hole behind you. He is very busy digging a hole behind you, very silently. On the other hand, if they say a few harsh things against you, particularly unreal things about you, you are safe. Therefore, what is there to fear? There is nothing to fear. Death? There is no death for me. I was never born. There is no death. Yashodehi, I am not asking for yashaha. If I am seeking yashaha, then I will have the fear of ayashaha or apayashaha. I am not seeking yashaha. Yashaha is a good name in the society. I am not seeking it. I want to be a nobody. Now you are safe. There is nothing to fear. Therefore, there is no fear means there is no person. There is no person means you are already merged in the divine vision. Praveshtunja parantapa. Next. Mat karma kran mat paramaha mad bhakta sangavarjitaha nirvaira sarva bhuteshu yassamameti pandava. It is an avatarika. Avatarika means introducing line, not introduction. Not introduction. Introduction is different. Introducing line. A line or two that introduce the verse to you by giving a connection between the verse that is coming and the verse that has gone by. That is the avatarika. Avatarayati iti avatarika. It brings onto the stage. This line brings the verse onto the stage. That's why it is called avatarika. So Bhashyakara says, Adhuna sarvasya gita shastrasya sarabhutorthaha nishreyasarthaha anushtheyatvena samuchitya uchyate. Okay, now this verse is going to put together, samuchitya, going to put together the entire vision of Gita Shastra. Now you know what is Shastra. Shastrataha drashtumcha. We have seen from Shastra, with the help of the Shastra. So now you know what is the Shastra. Shastra is the Gita, is the Shastra. So, you see, suppose there is a matha or petha. I look at it. I have an open mind about it. I don't have anything against it. They are great people doing great works. But do they have Gita in their scheme? That is the question. No, they don't seem to have Gita. They have 200 acres of ashram and 20-30 buildings, and they have a trust which has crores of rupees of funds, and they disperse those funds. They do a lot of social work, this and that. And the Mahatma seems to have thousands of devotees all over the country and also outside the country. All of that is wonderful, great. But do they have Gita in their scheme of things? No. Suppose if no is the answer, then what kind of a place it is? What kind of a petam or matham it is? Gita is the Shastram. So Gita Shastrasya. Therefore now you know, so people talk of this Shastra, that Shastra. Don't talk about all that. Somebody asked me, hey Swami, do you know this? Some Kundali or whatever. I said, I don't know. How come you they say you are a scholar, this and that, and how come you don't know it? Then I gave a thought to that question. You see, you have to answer in a loving way. So I replied to him, I did not find it anywhere in Gita. That's why I did not pay attention to that. I did not pay attention to that. In fact, my elderly uncle, my father's elder brother, he was a kind of a scholar in some of these Shastras. He asked me, hey, come here, you studied this Shastra, that Shastra, I'll teach you this Shastra, come and sit. I sat with him for a while and then I gave up. And I asked a few questions also. He said, if you ask so many questions, I cannot answer you. I cannot teach you anything. You see, he said, the day begins at morning 10:30. 10:30, Trayodashi was over, Chaturdashi started. Which is Trayodashi yesterday, which is Chaturdashi today. How come yesterday ended today morning at 10:30 and today started today morning at 10:30? ये क्या बात होता है? Either you follow the railway timetable, according to which the yesterday ended midnight at 12 o'clock and today started midnight 12 o'clock, or you follow more practical thing the way we all follow, everybody follows. The day ends with the early morning sunrise, the yesterday ended, and with the sunrise today started. So either that or this. What is this? Morning 10:30 yesterday ended and today started morning 10:30. ये क्या बात है? ये क्या होता है? I asked this question. He said, hey, you get out from here, you are unfit for learning this Shastra. Shraddha hona hai. You should have Shraddha. That is not Shraddha. I have Shraddha because I want to know how it is. So you want to have belief. Therefore, this is the Shastra. And Gita Shastra, all of it is what? 650 verses. 50 other verses are all contextual and story related. Story is not important. Don't get caught in the storyline, whether it is historic or mythological or fictional, etc. Now, how it is possible, how Sri Krishna have taught in the battlefield, how much time he had, how much time it will take for the 650 verses to teach. Did he teach in verse format or in prose format? So all this, you drop all that. It's a story, it's an avatarika. Story itself is an avatarika. It introduces you to the vision, nothing more to it. And there could be some symbolism in it. Sometimes the story is very beautiful. Like Kathopanishad, the story is very beautiful. But when you come to Mundakopanishad, there is no beauty in that story. What is there? Brahmaji was sitting and the Sangiras goes and asks a question. Is that a story? That is the story. In Kena, you don't have even that story. Somebody went and asked a question to the Acharya and the Acharya replied. You have to infer all that in Kena. Therefore, the storyline is not important. So, the Gita Shastra, all of it, means 650 verses. What is the essence of these 650 verses? Sarabhutaha Arthaha. The message. Arthaha is the message, you take it like that. The topic. Arthaha means the content, which is the message in this case. And that is the essence. And what is the purpose of this message? That also he says. Arthaha, purpose. Nishreyasa Arthaha. Nishreyasa, not Nishreyas, Nishreyasa. That's why Dirgham. If it is Nishreyas, Dirgham won't come. Nishreyasa, that A will come. the samasanta pratyaya. So Shreyas is without a. But when you put a nihi before that and make it a samasa, avyaya bhava samasa, it becomes nishreyasam. And in samasa, that a remains. So nishreyasam arthaha yasya saha nishreyasarthaha. So arthaha prayojanam, the purpose. There must be some purpose for the shastra. Purpose is not desire. Okay? Purpose is not desire. Desire could be the purpose in some cases, but purpose is not the desire. Purpose is purpose. Okay? So it must accomplish something meaningful for us. That is the purpose. And the purpose of this shastra is nishreyasa. Nishreyasa means freedom from the bondage of this samsara. That is the nishreyasa. So you arrive at this word nishreyasa. You see, you make money hoping that it will make you happy. But then the point is, money won't make you happy. Money can help you purchase a few things. You can purchase a good sofa. You can purchase a rocking chair, which will make the lower back sick. So you can purchase a few such things. And you can purchase one of the best possible smartphones, which will make your mind sick. So you can purchase all these things. And with the money, you can purchase very good medicines. You can purchase the services of very specialized doctors, but you cannot purchase health. Health you cannot purchase. So, money is what? Money will not make you happy. People should know that. Money will help you purchase a few things, that's it. It will not make you happy. Then sense pleasures, they are even worse than money because they directly make the person sick. Bhoge roga bhayam. So, therefore, people are unnecessarily seeking the wealth and pleasures. Wrongly, they are unnecessarily seeking that. They should not seek. They should stop seeking wealth and sense pleasures. They should stop that. They should learn to live a simple, disciplined, ordinary life. Orderly, that is what I wanted to say. Simple means ordinary only. So orderly life. That is what they have to seek. They have to strive for that. I have to live a simple, orderly, disciplined life. That is what they should seek, not wealth. Wealth, some of it may come. By its way it may come. And it goes, let it go. As it comes, let it come. As it goes, let it go. And you may need some money, you can seek that much. But not at the cost of simple, orderly, disciplined life. That is all you need, not wealth. You need a simple, orderly, disciplined life. You don't need millions. Only this you need. No, even for simple, orderly, disciplined life, you need some money. Okay, you get it. You need some the hunger is there. To satiate the hunger, you need some food. And that will give some pleasure. Let it be. Let it be, not a problem. But you convert